going to do that right now. And while I do that, why don't you head over to your mat, make sure you've got your weights maybe at the top of your mat, probably to have your weights at the top of your mat. And once you do that, go ahead and come into child's pose. This is going to be really fun, you guys. I'm excited for this. After a weekend of eating and drinking too much in my household, I'm looking forward to burning off some extra calories. But even if that's not, if you're not up for using the weights, totally fine. You definitely don't have to do that. But if you want to, that's just a way to kind of increase the intensity a little bit. But for right now, just get settled in your child's pose, and I'll give you a few minutes to, or not a few minutes, a few breaths to settle in. So welcome. All right, so just take your big toes together and let your knees maybe come out even wider than they were when you first came down to your mat. And allow yourself to just kind of adjust to this place where you are. So this could be a place in your house that you've been in all day long, or maybe it's your first time in this space, but either way, you're here for something different now. And so let your mind kind of transition to that. Let your mat kind of help transport you maybe to a place where you can really just be with your practice. As I said, this is a power vinyasa, so we'll move a little bit faster. We'll add some weights. We'll sweat. We'll breathe. We'll just have some fun as we start to settle into this new routine. As always, let's start with our breath. So take a big breath in through your nose, and then exhale out. And then just take your right arm, slide it underneath your left armpit. Take your right cheek to the mat, and if you want to drop that left arm behind you, go ahead. So it's just a slight variation on your child's pose. Just starting to get into those shoulders and to that upper and middle back, which we will be working out this evening. Really press that right palm down into the floor beneath you. And press into your right shoulder as you start to open that space up. Nice. Come back to the center. And then take it to the other side. Left arm under right, left cheek to the mat. Very nice. Come back through the center. Walk your arms out a little bit further. They might even come off the mat, and bend your elbows slightly. Press the heels of your palms down into the floor and press your forehead into the floor. You could even rock from side to side, like into one shoulder and then the other shoulder. Feel that stretch through your inner arms and your armpits. Take a breath in through your nose and an open mouth exhale. On your next inhale, come on up to tabletop. Hands and knees, all fours here. We're going to just go into fire hydrant pose here. So take your right knee and keep it bent, but just bring it out towards the side. Use your right glute for that action, and then draw it back in. We'll do 4 of those. Bring it out to the side, and then draw it back in. Use your core and your right glute. This is the second, or two more to go. Draw it back in. Last one, draw it out, and then bring it back in. Bring that right knee back down for tabletop. Draw your navel into your spine so that your core is engaged, and let's move to the left side. Take that left knee out towards the side and draw it back in. The knee never comes back down, it just hovers. Take it out to the left and draw it back in. Two more times, using the glute and your core. One more time, bring it out. And then bring it back into tabletop. Let's do some cows and cats before we start to add some weight. So inhale, look up. Exhale, round. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. Two more on your own. Use your breath to move through these two poses. And then return to your tabletop. Go ahead and grab your weight, whichever one you would like. And we're going to take that weight at the crook of our knee. So right between the top of your right calf and your right knee. Go ahead and squeeze onto that weight so that it doesn't fall out. Keep the right knee bent, keep squeezing the weight, and then lift that right knee up off the mat. Flex your toes, maybe even spread your toes apart, but try and keep your right hip level with your left hip for right now. Bring your belly button in toward your spine. Now let's add some pulses. So just little baby pulses up towards the ceiling. And let your eyes look down and maybe forward of your fingers just a couple of inches so that your neck is nice and long. Good, and again here, this is your right glute working and it's also your right hamstring. If you've been sitting a lot today, which I have in front of my computer or in front of my kids' computers, my hamstrings need to start to engage and start to work a little bit more. So let's take 8 more here. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the right knee down. Release the weight. Just put it over off to the left side by your left knee, but we're not going to use it quite yet. And then extend your right leg back behind you, straight back. Flex through the back of your right leg. So now feel your hamstrings stretching after we engage. And then using your right glute, take your right leg out towards the right. And now start little pulses here. So it's a slightly different muscle action, but still working the right leg, the outer hip. Keep going for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yikes. Bring that right knee down. Press back to child's pose just for a breath in and a breath out. Come back on up to tabletop and then take your weight behind your left knee. Go ahead and just make sure that it's in there nice and secure. So wiggle anything that needs to be wiggled. Find your adjustments. Squeeze that left knee with that left weight and lift your left knee up off the mat. Flex your toes and start to pulse up towards the ceiling. Try and keep your right hip pretty stationary and try and keep your eyes looking at that spot that you found before. So a little bit in front of the fingers is good. Keep your neck long. Using your left glute. For sure, your left hamstring. And notice, does this hamstring feel different than on the right side? Let's take 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and bring the left knee down. Remove the weight off to the side. Press the left leg back behind you. Stretch long for right now. Just let that hamstring release a little bit. Draw your navel into your spine. Breathe in as you take your leg out towards the left. Keep your toes pointing forward and then start to pulse up towards the ceiling. Keep the foot flexed. Notice if you're leaning way into that right hip, try and level yourself as much as you can. Just do your best. I know it's not easy. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Bring your left knee down. Let's press back into child's pose. Take a breath in and a breath out. Come on back up to tabletop, just so that you can take your weight and put it back at the top of the mat, so it's there for you when you need it. And then we'll meet in a downward facing dog. Make your way there, pedal your knees out. And then just notice how this down dog feels a little bit different after we did that hamstring work already. Come up and down, up on your toes and back on your heels. Just move around, shake your head out. Let some stuff go. First day of the week is behind you almost. Good. Come into stillness. Take your left foot and just kind of center it at the back of your mat as you lift your right leg up high, bend your knee, open up your hip, and take that right knee to your right elbow. Take it back up high and take it to your left elbow. Bring it back up high and step forward to the top of your mat. Take your left foot forward and fold. Grab opposite elbows and just hang out here in your ragdoll. Really letting your head go here, ladies. Just let go. And then release your hands to the floor. Come all the way up to stand, up to mountain pose. Reach up high. Forward fold, empty out. Step back to a high plank. And push the floor away from you as you're here in this high plank. Now shift forward, like to the tip of your toes, and then press back. So we're just gonna shift forward and back here in our plank. Starting to wake up the wrists a little bit. Coming forward and back. Getting the forearms prepped for the work ahead. Downward facing dog. Center your right foot at the back of your mat. Lift your left leg up. Bend your knee, open up your hip. And step on forward. Low lunge. Step your right foot forward. Fold. Rise up, breathe in. Forward fold, breathe out. Halfway lift, inhale. High plank, exhale. Breathe in, come forward. Breathe out, chaturanga. Upward dog in, downward dog out. Take a breath. Let it go. Bend your knees. Hop or step to your hands. Halfway, forward fold. Rise up, breathe in for mountain. Forward fold, breathe out. Halfway lift in. Chaturanga out. So you can step back or you can try and jump back. That's fun. Up dog in, down dog out. Let's do that one more time. Come up to your toes. Bend into your knees. Float to your hands. Halfway, forward fold. Rise up mountain. Forward fold, empty out. Halfway lift, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Upward dog, downward facing. Come up to your toes, bend into your knees, hop to your hands. Grab your weights and your forward fold and just kind of hold your weights in each hand, drop your head towards the floor. Now as you rise up for mountain, keep the weights close by, so keep them right by your side, as opposed to taking them way out here, just keep them up your side. Lift up for mountain and sit in chair. Take a breath in and a breath out. Breathe in. Now fly your weights and your arms back behind you, nice and controlled. Inhale, come back up for mountain. Exhale, sit in your chair, fly your arms back. A few more times. Inhale, mountain. Exhale, chair with arms back. One more time. Lift up, chair pose. Bring your hands to heart center. Forward fold. High plank, breathe it in. Chaturanga, breathe it out. On or off the weights, it's up to you. Upward dog, downward facing. Very nice. Come off of the weights if you're there. So just kind of roll them off to the side. Lift your right arm or right leg up high. Step forward, low lunge. Easy twist. Now, if you want to take the weight with you, you can. Or you can leave it right there by your foot. Take a breath in. Chaturanga. Breath out. Upward dog. Downward facing. Lift your left leg up. Step forward, low lunge. Easy twist. Option to bring that weight with you. Take a breath. Chaturanga. Exhale out. Upward dog. Downward facing. Right leg goes up high. Step forward, warrior one. No weights this time. Just come up, breathe in. Chaturanga, breathe out. Upward dog. Downward facing. Nice and controlled. Lift your left leg up. Warrior one. Breathe in. Chaturanga, breathe out. Upward dog. Downward facing. Take a breath. Let it go. Right leg high. Warrior one. Rise up. Chaturanga. Take it back down. Building heat. Up dog. Downward facing. Letting it go. Left leg up. Step it forward. Warrior one. Chaturanga. Exhale out. Upward dog. Downward facing. Really nice. Pedal your knees out. Take a breath in. Empty everything. Do that again. Breathe in. Bend your knees as you breathe all the way out. Travel to the top of your mat. Grab your weights. Halfway lift. Inhale. Forward fold. Exhale. Remember to keep your weights close by as you rise up from mountain pose. Breathe in. Chair with your arms back. Breathe out. Inhale, back up for mountain. Exhale, chair with your arms back. Two more times. Inhale, up. Exhale, sit slow. Inhale, up. Exhale, sit. Bring your hands back to heart center. And forward fold. Keep the weights close by. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Upward dog. Downward facing. Lift your right leg up high. Bend your knee. Open up your hip. Step it forward to a low lunge and grab your weights. Rise up for warrior one. So rotate your back foot. Reach your arms up towards the ceiling. Now, since you have weights, you're probably going to have a little bit more of a bend in your elbows than you normally would in warrior one, and that's perfectly fine. So just allow yourself to feel the difference here when you have the weights in your hands. Let your shoulders drop away from your ears. Take a breath. Now we're going to open to warrior two. And again, here, you're going to have a little bit of a bend. I have quite a bit of a bend in your elbows. So first just get used to the weights in your arms and the difference there. And then bring your attention to your right knee as you sink into that right thigh and you open up the right hip. Stay here and let me explain how we'll do a reverse. When you do a reverse when you have weights, You just want to punch that front hand straight up towards the ceiling rather than reaching way back, especially when we're flowing, because that could be kind of herky-jerky on your low back. So you'll just drop your left arm either down your leg, or you can take it behind you. But the important thing is that you just punch that right arm straight up. So that's your reverse. Take a breath in, chaturanga, breathe it out. Upward facing, downward facing dog. Take an in and an out. Lift your left leg up high. Take your knee to your left elbow, because I forgot. Send it back up high. Take it across to your right elbow. Send it back up high. Step forward, warrior one. Take it slow. Keep the weights close by you, like right through your middle, and reach them up high. So again, just get settled here. Notice the difference on this side. Breathe in, warrior two. Exhale out, slight bend in the elbows. Reverse your warrior, just punch that left arm straight up towards the ceiling. And as you chaturanga, you're gonna pull the weight down, pivot, and flow through your vinyasa. Up dog, and downward facing dog. Good, so let's do that a little bit faster this time. Bend your knees as much as you need. Good, all right, press your heels back. Really lengthen out the hamstrings. Lift your right leg up high. Step forward, low lunge. Rise up, warrior one. Keep the weights close by as you bring them up. Warrior two, open up. Reverse your warrior, breathe in. Chaturanga, pull, pivot, and flow through this. Meeting in your downward facing dog. And know that you always have the option to put the weights down. Lift your left leg, step forward, low lunge. Rise up, warrior one. Keep the weights close, lift up high. Warrior two, open. Reverse, breathe in. Chaturanga, pull, pivot, and flow. Meet you in downward facing dog. Take a breath and let it go. Come up to your toes. Bend deep into your knees. Float your hands. Halfway, forward fold. Keeping the weights close to your sides. Come all the way up, mountain pose. Reach the arms up. Chair, send the weights back. Mountain pose, reach them up. Send it back. Mountain pose, forward fold. Drop your head. Split your feet apart, at least hip width, maybe even more. And then take your right hand with your right weight and just kind of center it between your feet. A little bit of a bend maybe in your knees. And take your left arm up towards the ceiling, with or without the weight. It's up to you. If you want to bend into your right knee, you can, and that will increase the twist a little bit. And again, you don't need to have weights. All of these moves can be with or without weights. Bring the left hand down. Center the left hand and maybe the left weight. Bring the right arm up for a twist here. And back to a forward fold. Bring your feet back together a little bit closer. Drop your head as much as you can. And step back to a high plank. Hold it right here. And actually, go ahead and let go of the left weight right now, the weight in your left hand. And here in your plank, you're holding the weight in your right hand, and you're just going to roll it to the left, place the right hand down, grab that weight with your left hand. And then you're going to roll the weight over to the right hand and grab it. And that's all you're going to do. It's just moving that weight back and forth. And find yourself getting in a rhythm here. Try and keep your lower half of your body Nice and still, if possible. Kind of depends on what kind of mat you have, how well your weight is gonna roll. Good. And come back into downward facing dog. Take a big breath, then let it go. No weights right now. Come up to your toes. Press back into your heels. Lift your right leg up high. Step forward, warrior one. No weights here. Rise up, breathe in. Wow, it feels so light, doesn't it, without weights? Open up to warrior two. Reverse your warrior, breathe it in. Extended side angle, exhale out. It's amazing what a difference it is here. Take a few moments to just kind of be in this pose, a pose that's familiar in your body. Press into your back foot a little bit more. Come up to warrior two. Flip your front palm. Bring your eyes, your drishti, to your right palm. Good. Now keep your eyes focused right there on your right palm, but reverse your warrior. Reach it way back this time. Now that we don't have weights, we can reach back, back, back. Chaturanga, take it through. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Come forward to a high plank. Center your right hand. With your left hand, grab your weight if it's accessible and come into a side plank with your left arm up. Lift that left weight if that's accessible for you. Keep your hips lifted. And now we're going to thread the needle, bringing that left hand and weight under our right rib cage. Back up. Don't worry how many of these you get in. Just take it slow. And don't worry if you're wobbling or you're a hot mess like me. That's all good. You can always stagger that left foot so it's in front of the right. Good. Take one more wherever you are. Really control though with that weight, no swinging. And then come back to a high plank. Press back to a down dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Lift your left leg up. No weights here. Step forward, warrior one. Come up. Warrior two. Reverse your warrior. Reach way back. Extended side angle. Left hand down. Right arm goes up. And bring your drishti back to the center of your right palm. And just stay there. Listen for your breath. Notice where you feel it the most in your body. Rise up to warrior two. Flip your front palm. Let your eyes settle right on the center of your front palm. Keep your drishti there. Follow your palm all the way back for your reverse. Reach, reach, reach. Chaturanga, take it down. Upward dog. Downward facing. Come forward to your high plank. Set up for side plank with the right arm up and the option to take the right or the weight into the right hand. And then to start those needle threads. But again, let it be really slow and controlled so that the muscle is doing the work rather than gravity. You got it. Let's take two more, but really slow it down. Super slow motion here. Come into high plank, put that weight off to the side and press back to down dog. Bring your knees down to the floor. Let's take some cows and cats here. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. A few more just like that. One more set. Breathe in. Breathe out. Press back into child's pose. Bring your arms to your low back. Clasp your fingers together at your low back and then lift your arms away from your low back. Rinsing out your shoulders. Take your fingers and your hands from one side to the other. And then release your arms back to child's pose. Come on up for downward facing dog. Lift your right leg up high. Bend your knee, open your hip. Step forward for low lunge. Rise up for crescent. Big breath in. Warrior two, big breath out. Reverse your warrior, breathe in. Chaturanga, breathe out. Upward dog, inhale. Downward dog, exhale. Now we're gonna do the same side. Right leg goes up. Step forward to low lunge. Grab your weights though. One in each hand. Here you are in low lunge. Your belly is lifted away from your right thigh. And we're gonna come right up into one-legged Tadasana. See if you can just press into that right heel and bring that left knee up and into your, well, let's take the left thigh so it's parallel to the floor. How about that? And then we're gonna start some crisscrosses with our wrists, right? So holding the weights. If you don't want the weights, you don't need them, you can still do this and get the same benefit, which is strengthening your middle to upper back. Now really focus now on opening up and then bringing back together. So feel the rotation in your shoulders, making that rotator cuff work, making your middle back work. And you're rotating right on top and then left on top for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Now listen, from here, keep going. We're gonna go into warrior 3. Just take that left leg back. Hold on to your weights. Your arms are straight, your weights are down to the floor. We're gonna start to fly out. Slight bend in your elbows for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, use your middle back, 3, open up as big as you can, 1 more, step back, crescent lunge, reach your arms up high, you're high in your back toes, warrior 2, reverse, remember just punch that right arm straight up, chaturanga, option to lift your right leg, upward dog, inhale, downward dog, exhale. Come off of the weights for just a moment and lift your left leg up high, step forward, crescent lunge. Rise strong, warrior 2, open big. Reverse your warrior, chaturanga. Upward dog, downward facing. All right, so same side, left leg up, step through to low lunge, grab your weights, keep them close by your side, rise up. Actually, whoops, sorry, come back down to your low lunge with your weights and start to bring that right knee in towards you as you come up for one-legged Tadasana. This time we're gonna move into bicep curls. So keeping your elbows really close to your sides. For me, it helps to flex my right foot here Keep the core engaged. Keep the shoulders down, away from your ears, no shrugging. And just look straight out in front of you. Right out towards the horizon. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Start to move into warrior 3. Kick the right leg back. This time, keep the arms straight for now. Right toes point down, and then draw the weights up in towards your sides as you bend the elbows, and then bring them down. Nice and slow and controlled. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, ooh, as I fall, 3, 2, and 1. Step back, crescent lunge, reach your weights up high. Warrior 2, open. Reverse, so just punch that left weight up high. Chaturanga. Take it through. Upward dog. Downward facing. Take a breath in and a breath out. Lift your right leg up. Actually, bring your right foot back down. We're going to do a little transition here. Come off of your weights and lift that right leg up high again. So 3-legged dog with the right leg up. Palms are pressing into the floor. You don't have any weights in your hands. Circle that right ankle around a little. And then bend your knee, open your hip, and flip your dog. Let's flip our world upside down a little bit, change our perspective. Feet press into the floor. Good, come back around, downward facing dog. And let's do the same thing on the left side. Lift your left leg, circle the ankle around, and then bend your left knee, open up, and flip right over. Back around to downward dog. Take a breath. Bend your knees. Float to your hands. Halfway, forward fold. It's up to you whether or not you want to take weights. I'm not going to take them with me this time. Come up for mountain pose and then sit in chair. Bring your hands to heart center, or if you're holding on the weights, you'll look like this with your weights pressing together. Take a big inhale and then twist to the right as you exhale. I'm demoing with the weights, but you absolutely don't have to do that. If you're holding the weights, press them together. If you don't have weights, press your palms together. Come back to the center. Rise all the way up from mountain. Bend your elbows, open up big. And come back down into your chair pose. Take a breath. Now let's take your twist to the left. Nice. So use the power in your arms and the power in your legs to allow that nice opening in your back to occur. Come back to the center. Rise all the way up, mountain pose. Take one more cactus and back bend. And forward fold. No weights here, halfway lift. Chaturanga. Upward dog. Downward facing. Lift your right leg up high. Step forward, low lunge. Grab your weights. Come up into one-legged Tadasana. And this time we're going to go into hammer curls. So if you're not sure what those are, take a look at what I'm doing right here. but your weights are going vertically and your elbows are really close to your sides. Retract your chin in just a little bit so that your neck is long. Your shoulders are down and your chest is nice and open. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Move into warrior 3. This time we're going to do tricep extensions. So first drop your arms so that they're straight down. Now bend your elbows and then kick back. So tricep extensions, kicking back through or with the arms, feeling it in your triceps. Keep going for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Feel that in your right leg. 2. I know it. 1. Crescent lunge. Big breath in. Warrior 2. Breathe out. Reverse punch high. Chaturanga. So pull, pivot, and flow. Upward dog. Downward facing. All right, last step. Let's do the left leg up high. Step forward, crescent lunge. Rise up with those weights. We're going to do chest presses now. So first, just cactus out your arms and keep your elbows really wide. All right, so they are up to shoulder height and they're open up wide. Good. Now bring the weights and the elbows towards each other. Then open back up, nice and wide. So try not to cheat too much here. All right, so really open up so that you get the full rotation and the full range of motion here in this pose. And you can take it really slow. As you open, squeeze your shoulder blades together. You can even pause there for a moment. Feel that squeezing, like there's a pencil between those shoulder blades, and you're holding it there. Let's take this for a count of 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. You got this, guys. We're almost done. 2 and 1. Come into warrior 3. Do one more tricep exercise. This time, let your palms holding onto the weights, let your palm face the back of your mat. And then reach your arms towards the back of the mat as far as you can. Full extension here. And then from here, just little baby pulses. Really small. So you're fully extended. And then you find like another inch or 2 to pulse up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Crescent lunge. We did it. Warrior 2. Open up. Reverse your warrior in. Chaturanga. Bring it down. No weights necessary here. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Awesome job, you guys. Lift your right leg up high. Let's take care of those hamstrings here. Come forward, pyramid pose. So step the left foot forward, maybe way forward. Let this be really, really surrender, a pose of surrender here. So I'm even going to take my weights by my side so I can hold on to the weight, and that allows my head to drop even more. Allow your right hip to shift back as you try and bring your left hip forward, trying to level out both of your hips. soften through your face. If you're holding your weights, just let them go. Walk your hands forward. Come into a standing split. Left leg goes up high. Head towards your shin. Left foot to the floor. Rise all the way up, mountain pose. Clasp your fingers together and take a half crescent or side stretch over to the right. And then over to the left. Back to the center and forward fold. This time, just step your right leg back behind you for pyramid with your left foot forward. If you liked using those weights to just kind of hold on to, go ahead. Try and level your hips here. So left hip back, right hip forward. Breathe into that left hamstring. If you're holding onto the weight still, release them to come into standing split with your right leg up high. And bring your right foot to the floor. Fold here, wrap yourself around your legs. And come into boat pose. So you might just be able to lower your booty all the way to the floor. And then from here, you're going to go even further. So come all the way down to your back. Draw your knees into your chest. We're going to do a little abdominal work here. Press your palms down into the floor. Lift your legs up towards the ceiling. Draw your navel into your spine. This is core. So keep this action the whole time throughout this whole sequence. We're going to start doing a clockwise circle. So as if the two legs were just kind of one unit. Little circle. You could point or flex your toes, kind of whatever works best for you. But try and keep your low back low and press into the floor. And then let those circles get bigger and bigger. And then really big. Keep your core active. And then start to reverse those circles, starting off really big. And starting to make them smaller and smaller. Good. Come back to the center. Keep your left leg lifted. Drop your right leg so that it's just hovering up off the mat. Bring your hands behind your head. Lift your shoulder blades up off the mat. Keep your core engaged. Lift up as you pulse towards that left knee. Pulse up for 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch your legs. Pulse towards the right knee for 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch and pulse for 3, 2, 1. Switch and pulse for 3, 2, 1. Switch 2, 1. Switch 2, 1. And switch back and forth for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Moving into bicycles, opposite elbow to the outside of your opposite knee. Try and keep your elbows out really wide. You got it. Keep going. Now flex your feet if they aren't already and press through your heel for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very nice. Lower your shoulder blades down, draw your knees into your chest. Good job, my friends. Let's take a figure 4. This will feel good. Right ankle to our left knee or thigh.
That left leg can stay straight, or if you prefer to bend your knee and just kind of draw the back of the left thigh in towards you. And you can use your right elbow to press the right knee away. And if those exact cues aren't working for you, then find something that does. What you want here is an outer hip stretch on the right side. That's where you want to feel it. Really nice work today, ladies. My heart rates were elevated for sure. Burn off some of that stuff that's building up inside. Bringing some positivity into our day, our evening. All right, now keep your right ankle on your right knee. We're going to turn this into a supine twist, taking the twist over to the left. So try and keep the ankle pressed into that left knee. And then I like to take my left hand to that ankle that's right there. And pressing the right knee away from you. Let your eyes look to the right. All right, let's come into shoelace. So come back to the center. That right thigh is still on top, but now we're going to cross it over the left thigh and bring our hands to either the shins or our ankles and draw our legs in towards us. So it's still, we're still getting into the outer right hip. Some of you might get more out of this by really bending your knees nice and tight and drawing in. For me, it works better when my knees are a little less bent. Good. Unwind. Just take your knees wide. Let's take a happy baby here. Bend and straighten one knee at a time. Feel a nice stretch in the groin. Figure 4 with the left ankle on your right knee or your right thigh. Same options as on the other side. If you aren't, go ahead and close your eyes. And see your breath as it makes its way to that left hip. And bring some release and some softening. And when you're ready, take it to the supine twist. Keep the ankle and the thigh or knee connected. Take your right hand to your left ankle. Press your left knee away from your body. Come back through the center for shoelace. Left thigh over the right. And draw your legs in towards you. Come back through the center. Bring your knees in for one more happy baby. Before we move into Shavasana, I'd love for you to take one heart opener for about 45 to 60 seconds. So that can be a wheel or a bridge. It can be a fish pose. anything that you like to just open up your heart. It could be a reverse tabletop, or I'm going to demonstrate a reverse plank. So spend some time opening your heart and your chest. If there's anything else that you would like to take before Shavasana, or if you want to take Shavasana with your legs up the wall, go for that, because that can feel really great, especially after a practice like this. But otherwise, go ahead and lay in your Shavasana. I'll let it be nice and quiet for you. And if you've got distractions in your home around you, be okay with that. Just be in your quiet Shavasana, and I'll guide you out when it's time. Bring your awareness to your core, your power center, that place of strength, that place where you can always go back to when things are getting a little out of control, where you can find that calm and that peace, where you know that everything will be okay. And the less you resist and the more you just kind of go with the flow of things, the happier you'll be. Breathe into your core and breathe out. Slowly start to move other parts of your body. And then when you're ready, draw your knees in tight to your chest and just roll on over to your right side. And using those super strong arms that you worked out so hard today, press yourself up to a seat. You're welcome to keep your eyes closed and bring your hands to your heart center. You all did a fabulous job tonight. Hopefully you feel like your tanks are filled up again. You're ready to go back out there. Maybe you have an eventful evening, or maybe it can be kind of quiet, some family time. Focus on what really is important, what really matters to you. Draw your thumb knuckles up to your third eye. The divine light and power in me sees and honors the divine light and divine power in each of you. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. And as we bow forward, bid each other namaste.
Nice job. Let me take you all up. All right. Oh, and I see some more friends came on. Monica, Michael, I'm not sure who that is, but I hope you're all feeling really great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Much better.
Thank you so much. You feel good?
Much better.
Much better.
Good. Do you guys like using the weights? Like, should we make that maybe a regular thing, or think
I
about
do.
it? Okay,
Yeah.
good. All right. Yeah, it's a little bit different that way.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, I know. We are gonna feel this tomorrow. And I'd love to see you guys again tomorrow at 9:30. I'll send out the Zoom invite right now after I hang up. I didn't want to have both out there because I didn't want it to be confusing to those of you who came on tonight. Although I actually think it's the same ID and password, just so you guys know moving forward. But yeah, if you have any questions, call me, text me, whatever. Zoom me. I love to see your faces. All right, ladies, have a
Thank
great
you.
Thank you so
You're very
much.
welcome. You're welcome. Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye. Goodbye.